Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everyone? Give everybody a few more minutes to get in since it was super unplanned doing this. Yeah. Been messing with a Rockney a lot lately, and my deck is all over the place. Hopefully everyone is having a good day. A chill day. For me, it's super chill. It's rain outside. I'm sick for the 80th time this year. Sucks. But it is what it is. Hopefully all of you are having a good one. If anyone's in the stream, let me know if the music is too loud, too soft. I always ask that because I don't normally change it up, but it's, I'm always a little bit anxious on if it's too loud or too soft. And while we're doing that, I'm just cleaning up a little bit here. Stuff you should do before you turn a stream on. It's really not that dirty. It's just my OCD kicking in. All right. Yeah, today we are going to build Vinsett for fun. Obviously, we do not have all of the card pool. Yo, Jake, what's up? Yeah, I'm ready for Vinsett too. It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, I'm super excited for the hero. The hero seems pretty fun. I've seen some proxy games be played with her already. Obviously with the limited card pool we have, but people are having fun with her, it seems already. And she seems like she can be taken a few different ways. It's going to be really cool to see what her actual core card pool is, and we'll talk about that, why that is here in a second. But, yeah, I'm super excited too. Also, yeah, if I sound like shit, y'all, it's because I feel like shit. So, I apologize for that. We'll give everybody 1 or 2 more minutes to get in here before we pop this off. With the building, I'm going to be building in terms of a CC deck, not Blitz. And the only thing I can do on February is open format, which is totally fine because they don't want people like testing the crap out of it too early. I think Talishar is only allowing people to play it in the open format, and even so, like she's really bugged right now in Talishar, which how dare they not have her completely coded in less than 24 hours? How dare they? But once they get her coded properly, we'll probably do some fun games. So yeah, we're gonna be building the open format, so you're gonna see like her Blitz version, right? But we're doing it in terms of a CC deck. I also already built her technically over here on my other monitor, but I wanted to have a pre-built version up so I can like talk through what I was thinking, so I'm like more organized. So that's the reason. We'll kind of go through. Obviously, again, for anyone watching, we don't have her whole card pool. We don't even have all of her equipment she's probably going to have access to, all this stuff. This is just for fun. So please, nobody come at me telling me I'm not building the hero correctly or something. I doubt anybody would do that, but you never know. We'll wait 1 or 2 more minutes, y'all, if y'all can give me the time. If y'all can give me the time, we'll wait 1 or 2 more minutes here. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, has anyone been staying up? Any of my U.S. brethren and sisters been staying up and watching the call in Singapore? I just been catching the rounds later. I just watched the restream. I'm not that dedicated, sadly. Yeah. All right, I think we're as good as we're going to get here. I won't wait too long. Not a ton of people are probably going to join, which is totally fine. Also, y'all, for anyone in the stream, I will be interacting with you and answering questions, but also be talking a little bit like to the camera because I'm going to put this on YouTube later for anybody who missed it, just for fun. So we'll get right into it. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hopefully everyone is staying healthy and safe. We're going to build Vinsett for fun here. Obviously, we don't have the Heroes card pool. We don't have like everything that we need to have in order to build her like the way she's probably intended. However, just for fun, we're going to build her, see what happens, and kind of go from there, right? So for anyone that's not aware, Vinsett has 2 abilities. One's like a passive, sort of, and then one's an activate ability. At the start of your turn, banish a card from your hand. If you do, create a rune chant token. Her second ability is whenever you play a shadow non-attack action card, you may pay 1 life. If you do, the next rune chant effect that would deal damage this turn can't be prevented. So a couple things about this. One, at the start of your turn, banish a card from your hand. Create a rune. At the start of your turn, banish a card from your hand if you do create a rune chant token. So that's not a may. Like, you have to banish. I'm assuming, which is interesting. Actually, wait. Sorry, someone messaged me. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. I'll probably just end up putting up a second video, like separate from this. Sweet. So yeah, so her first ability is, I hope Vin has something good for an offhand. Melting Point destroys her flails. Yeah, but Melting Point's so niche. So niche. If Melting Point was a generic pump, then 100% I agree with you, but it's so niche. It's not going to be a difference. All right, y'all, we're almost good. Yeah, at the start of your turn, banish a card from your hand. If you do, create a rune chant token. I'm assuming that that's optional. It has to be, just because if you do, the if you do statement makes it to where it's optional. If that wasn't in there, then it wouldn't be optional. I misread that. I had to check with my buddy. But yeah, that should be optional. So she's not quite like Chain, where she can have like 2, 3, 4 things get banished, that she can have like these crazy 7, 8 card hands. However, I do think she's gonna be really cool because I'm assuming like the Banshee card is already kind of a look in at what's gonna happen. I think she's gonna have RuneGate cards that have added abilities or buffs when they're banished, and she'll be able to like play even more optimal hands. I think she'll also be able to play like a mid-range and a control variant of her. Because you'll be able to maybe banish multiple cards like over 2, 3 turns and then come in for a really good turn. Like I could see, just on a random hand, if you have like Seeds of Agony, a blue Maurian Skies, and Spellblade Assault, whatever it may be. And then you play like you banish Seeds of Agony, create a rune chant token, play Mauve Skies, Spellblade Assault, make 3 tokens. Maybe you don't swing with Rosetta, whatever it may be. Like, there's a couple of different things. We'll talk about it to where I think you'll be able to, like, make setup turns and have 1 or 2 cards in banish, 2 or 3 cards in banish, and then come in with, like, a really crazy turn, which I think could make her really, really strong. And then her second ability is whenever you play a shadow non-attack action card, you may pay 1 life. If you do, the next rune chant effect that would deal damage this turn can't be prevented. So the way I read that without being a judge means like the next singular rune chant that comes in can't be prevented, because whenever you play a shadow non-attack action card, you may pay 1 life. If you do, the next rune chant effect that would deal damage can't be prevented. Not like, so if you have 5 rune chants, it's not like all 5 can be prevented. It's just the next rune chant, since they're all separate instances of damage. So you only can non-prevent 1 is the way I'm thinking. Second ability. So that should be interesting. The second one, like when you first read it, I'll say it, as written on Vin's bench, I'm curious if second ability can be done multiple times, like if you pay 4 health. Yeah, it's whenever you pay something. So it can be, it doesn't say once per turn, so it should be multiple times. Yeah, it only affects 1 rune chant, Val. Yeah, Val, that's what I'm assuming. That's what, the way I read it, it seems like Vin's first effect is mandatory. But the if you do is weird. Yeah, because it says at the start of your turn, banish a card from your hand. I'm assuming that's because if you had no cards in hand, then you couldn't. I'm texting my buddy right now, Breezy. Most of y'all probably know who Breezy is in the community. Talking to Breezy about if it's mandatory or not. I think it is mandatory because the if you do clause, I think, is because if you've blocked out like your whole turn and you don't have cards in hand, you can't banish something, you can't create the rune chant. That's why they have the if you've done it clause. But I think the banish is required the way I'm reading it. Because it should say at the start of your turn you may banish a card if you do create a rune chant, if it was not if it was optional. But since it is, I think it's required. Yeah, I think you're right, Val. That's where my thought process is. Well, yeah, so that's where we're at right now. So that's our 2 abilities. So the first, I want to kind of go through this. Again, this isn't me doing like a deck tech, but I'm going to kind of talk in terms of a deck tech just for fun. And kind of go through it. So her first thing's her equipment, and her first thing honestly is her weapon. I think she has, obviously Rosetta's in there, right? So we're gonna put, until Briar leaves, Rosetta is an option, right? But let's just Nebula Blade, Reaping Blade's an option, and her flails obviously are an option. And I think that these are like your biggest options in terms of weapons. I think these are like your only options right now. I need a judge on this weapon thing, but we'll figure that out later, regardless if it's mandatory or not. So yeah, so she has Flail of Agony. Flail of Agony is easy, interesting. Once per turn action, pay 1 life attacked. When this hits, create a rune chant token. These are pretty good. Like 1 life for 1 attack, and if it hits, create a rune chant. It's really annoying to block. So basically, you're most of the time, because people aren't going to want to block these most of the time, then you're pretty much paying a life for a rune chant, right? So pay a life, make 2 rune chants. You know, create a rune chant with grasp, pitching a blue, pay a life, play both of these. You can play Banshee for free. So it seems really cool. She's gonna have to have some type of life gain, because you can't just do this every turn. Like over the course of 4 turns, you take out a 1/4 of your health just to be able to play out stuff with rune cost reduction. Seems a little bit but I think this is a card where we're gonna have to see her card pool. Dread Scythe in the book are options, Jake. I just don't see them being options, but hey, I'll put them in just so people can see them. That's fine. Dread Scythe's an option. Yeah, you're right. I'll put them in just so people can see them. Yeah, I think we have to see her card pool to see like how much making rune chants is going to matter. Obviously, it's going to matter given her hero ability, but there might be. It's like Riptide, right? Like, there's ways the hero, I think, thematically is supposed to play, And then there's ways people are just going to abuse it. So what to see? I don't know. I think you're going to have to wait for her. Yeah, I'm live, Breezy. Book is a book, not a weapon. Yeah, true. If a rune chant generation wasn't conditional, she would run full defensive reactions, block every turn, stack rune chants. Yeah, no, I agree. So I think flail is actually pretty good. Basically, most time people are going to want to block this. So most turns, you pay 2 life, you make 2 rune chants. That's the way this is going to work. So I think these are definitely an option. We just got to see her card pool. Rosetta is pretty good with her. Obviously, it's Rosetta. But I feel like I want to play this weapon because of how good the weapon is, but also I don't want her to just be a... I feel like if you're trying to build for Rosetta, you're playing a worse version of Viserai, in my opinion. And this is without knowing her card pool, but a worse version of Viserai. Like, I don't think she wants to do that. I think she wants to make rune chants, right? Like, as much as possible. Dread Scythe, not a good weapon. It's kind of a meme. Annals of Sutcliffe. Once per turn action, pay 3, draw a card. If it's an attack action card and a non-attack action card, would pitch this way, create a rune chant token. Sure, but you could use this, but it's not as good as Flail. Like, why would you run Book when you could run Flail? She could do that, but she had to keep a card every turn to stack and rune chant. She probably taught... Yeah, Breezy, we need to get a judge on this first Vinsett ability. I agree with chat. I agree with Val. I think it's a required effect. I think at the start of your turn, if you have cards in hand, you must banish a card. Because if it was optional, it would say at the start of your turn, you may banish a card. If you do, create a rune chant token. But since it doesn't say if you may right here, I think it's required. So yeah, Rosetta Thorn, I don't think she's wanting to be built that way. Reaping Blade's a tech card anyway, so that doesn't matter. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's between Nebula Blade, which I think is actually pretty good in her. Like, if Nebula Blade hits, create a rune chant token. If you play a non-attack action card this turn, Nebula Blade gains +3 until end of turn. So you could play, like, Rune Blood Incantation, that's going to give you 3 rune chants over 3 turns, and then swing Nebula Blade off that blue. So pitch a blue, play Rune Blood Incantation, swing Nebula Blade. You're threatening 4 damage, making potentially 2 rune chants, and then make another rune chant, and then make another rune chant at the start of your next turn. I think it's not too bad. It's just, is it better than Flail? I think Flail actually might be pretty good. It's just gonna be interesting to see, like, she's gonna have to have some life gain or ways to stay alive if she wants to use Flail. It's a 2-horse race between Rail and Nebula Blade, though. I actually don't think Rosetta's even in top 2, as good as Rosetta is. I think you want to make rune chants, and I think these two just play into what she wants to do better. But that's also without knowing her card pool. So, yeah. So I have it on open format, so we can add both of these. But I think Nebula Blade and Flail are definitely her go-tos for sure. And then we have the equipment pieces. Your next option, right? We'll go from head down. You'll have Crown of Dichotomy, which I think will be a good sideboard card. Crown of Province is probably her best bet. You could even try the Crown Dominion with freaking same as Viserai, but I don't know if you're going to be doing all that jazz. Any other head pieces? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we don't have anything else. So yeah, I think Crown Province is your best option. It's pretty standard. Skull Cap can be used as well. Really, your decision point is going to be coming in the chest piece. We obviously have Carrion Husk, which is insane. You have Tunic, and then Ether Ironweave might not be bad if you're running like a Banshee build, or like if there's a lot of her cards that cost a lot. But I think out of these 3, I think it's probably going to be Carrion Husk, just access to that block, especially if you're playing like more of a mid-range build with her, where you're going to want to stack some damage or stack a turn with 2 or 3 Blood Debt or things like that. I think Carrion Husk is probably going to be her best bet. This is just one of the most powerful equipment pieces in the game. If it's mandatory, the Shadow Runeblade arguable better triple in size and Dust Till Dawn. As of now, it's is it worth to play her without the rest of the set? No, I agree. That's why I'm saying with this build, this let's build Vinsett thing. It's more for fun. She definitely needs a greater card pool. I'm going to talk about that with the non-attack actions. Her second ability right now literally doesn't have enough support to even be relevant whatsoever, like at all, unless you run like 9 Seeds of Agonies, which then doesn't quite go with what she wants to do. Nebula Blade is her weapon as of now, but if she runs expensive cards, it would make sense to use life for resource. Yeah, it's hard, Parker, because I think like it's like Kodachis, right? Like you never want to block Kodachis. If you tell me, hey, every turn you can pay 2 life to make 2 rune chants, it's pretty good, right? It's just is it better than Nebula Blade, right? But I think Carrion Husk is probably gonna be her best chess piece. Arms like it's grasp, not close until we get something better. The biggest thing is gonna be creepers or non-creepers, right? Because like we have several things we can do here. Obviously, Snapdragon Scalers, I won't put those in right now. But Suckless Suede Hides might not be a bad option if you're looking to do that. Because, so here's the reason I'm looking at Suckless Suede Hides as an attack reaction. Is because it's another way to give Go Again. I don't know. It's good. It's not as good as Creepers, obviously. But Creepers has a contingency. And you're never going to want to be... Not never. A lot of times you're going to want to play your non-attack action cards first. Because... Or some... You're not going to want to... Whenever you play a Shadow non-attack action card, you may pay a life. So I guess, yeah, Creepers is still better. But Suckless Suede Hides will be an option. I always dislike this card. I don't know why. It's a cool card. Creeper's probably the best option, though. Yeah, no, I agree, Val. I don't think Rosetta's going to be the play with her. I agree with you. Okay, so if the banish is mandatory, y'all can have her. That's a whack ability, a singular rune chant for Dancing with Blood does whack, but we'll see her card pool looks like. Yeah, I think Parker, I think the way it reads, it has to be mandatory. There's just the way that the game has always done things. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so most of the things I'm seeing in the judge section of the Discord think it's mandatory. I think the reason, it's like Val said, Parker, I think that the reason they put this if you do create a rune chant token in is because there might be hands where you fully block out. So if you're able to do it, like if you have the card that is able to be now banished, create a rune chant token. When you do create a rune chant token. No, I see what you're saying on that. Yeah, it's so interesting. They'll come out and say it, but they'll definitely talk about it. But here's Vinsett's biggest issue right now, and something that I'm really looking forward to in the set is action cards, non-attack action cards, right? So her second ability reads that if you play a shadow non-attack action card, you may pay a life. The next instance of a rune chant damage can't be prevented, which when you really think about that and you say it out loud, it's really not that crazy, right? Unless there's something when it comes to arcane damage, like, I don't know. It's like you're jumping through a lot of hoops to guarantee 1 damage. I mean, sure, there might be like niche instances where you need to kill your opponent or get a meet and greet to get Go Again or whatever it may be. Sure, but like it's a little bit underwhelming for sure, in my opinion. But yeah, so what she's lacking right now is shadow non-attack action cards that are playable, right? Because right now you basically have, why is it showing me generic? I don't need generic. You have cards like Dimensional Gateway, which is an okay card, but it's a 2-block, right? You reveal 3. If it's a Runeblade card, deal 1 damage to you. Opt 3, reveal 1. If it's a Runeblade card, deal 1 arcane damage to opposing hero. If it's a Shadow card, you may banish it. So if you find a Shadow Runeblade card, banish it, right? And this is a non-attack action card, so it will proc her second ability, but the card's not that good, right? You have Seeds of Agony, which we all know Seeds of Agony is freaking busted, but Banshee's a 3-cost card, and it's going to depend on what her card pool strength is, because like right now Seeds of Agony works great. Like if you think to the chain days, like what shadow attack action cards were 2 or less that are ran, it was pretty much everything in chain, because he ran belittle and he was trying to like run low to the ground attacks. But is she going to do that? Right now Seeds of Agony works great with like Swarming Gloomveil, Valiant Demigod, Riftbind, Unhallowed Rites, Ghostly Visit. You could use on Spellblade Assault, Spellblade Strike, things like that. But if she has a lot of Banshee type cards that are 2 or greater, this now you're just using this to get the ability, which sure. But when you think about it, like unless you play a super hyper like defensive build with her, it's a control-y, and then you're looking to pop off with like 8 or 9 Seeds Agonies, not 8 or 9, but like 5 or 6 Seeds Agony with Riftbind, you could do that same thing, but I don't know. Does she have the ability? Because it's not like Chain. Like Chain could banish 4 of these in a turn and like accelerate his game plan to then play Riftbind for $1 billion. It's gonna be harder for her to do that because she only can banish 1 at a time, right? So she has to set up longer, take more life to do it. I don't know if she can do that. Yeah, I don't think it's as good. I definitely think you run it. I think it's definitely ran at red because there's a lot of 2 or less attacks, maybe yellow because of the card pool right now. But Seeds is like, okay, but yeah, again, shadow non-attack action cards. That's what we're looking at. We don't have a lot of them. We have another action card, Dimensional Crossroads. Whenever you play an attack action card or a non-attack action card from the banish zone, if you have played another card of that type this turn, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. If you lose life during your turn, destroy this, which means you'll never play it because she loses life pretty consistently with her archetype. So unplayable. Seeds of Agony's in here, right? So like, let's just add the Seeds of Agonies for fun. Seeping Shadows. This card was ran at yellow and chain. I don't think you can run it in her. She's going to have a good amount of cards that are probably 2 costs or greater that are attacks, so it's not going to be as great. And then you have, again, Seeds of Agony. So you have Shadow Puppetry. Where's Shadow Puppetry? Did I skip that one? Where'd it go? Why is it not in here? What the fuck? Why was it not popping up? Oh, because it's not a Shadow Rune Blade. I'm dumb. Let's see what else. It's a non-attack action. Yeah, Crossroads is trash with her. Red's definitely, maybe yellows. Howl from Beyond's another good one. Right. Seeping Shadows again. I think the card's 2 below rate for her, and it doesn't quite work with her kit from what we're seeing. Spew Shadow is a tech card for light, which if Prism gets really good, maybe this card comes in, but I doubt it. Tone of Torment's not going to come in. It doesn't have Go Again, which automatically makes it unplayable because you don't have Soul Shackles. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a non-attack action card. So like essentially, unless you just like force cards in her initially without knowing the rest of her kit in the new set, which is I think where she needs the most help, is her non-attack action shadow cards. Because right now, like if I run Rainbow Seeds of Agony and Shadow and then the regular stuff, I still only have 15 good non-attack action cards. Like you basically have to run like Dimensional Gateway, which Dimensional Gateway isn't a horrific card for her, but it's a 2-block, which sucks. The card is not god awful, but it's not good either. right? Op 3, reveal the top card of your deck. Basically, if it's a Shadow Runeblade card, you deal an arcane damage and you banish it. So she could get 2 banishes. That's possible. Not bad. But it's a 2 block and it costs 1. So you're running like a less than ideal card. So even if you force that card, which isn't a bad card, even if you forced it, you only get 18 non-attack action shadow cards. Shadow Ursa, it's an attack. I'm just looking at non-attacks right now. Parker. Shadow Ursa. I don't like Shadow Ursa either. I'll talk about that when we get to the attacks. Yeah, it's the funny thing, Parker, is I saw it getting played yesterday at Reaper, and I was like, what the hell? How are you this good with this little of... Oh, no, you're good. How is it this good with this little card pool? Like, watching them play it, I was like, this deck looks decent right now. I don't know. I should have paid attention to what was in Ellie's deck. I wasn't, like, looking hard enough. So, yeah, that's where she's going to need the most help is her Shadow non-attack action cards, for sure. Attacks, pretty standard. I think with her, you're not going to be able to just run, like, rainbow bounding demigods. I don't think it's going to work that way. I think she's going to have a little bit higher rate cards with her attacks. I think red bounding demigod works. Red riftbind works, obviously. On hallowed rites, I probably wouldn't put it in because it forces you to play a non-attack action card, and since you're forced to also banish a card, like, it's going to be interesting, right? I don't know. I don't like it. Phantom Banshee, this card's amazing. I love it, but it's a trap card. I think until we know what her whole kit does, until we know she can make more rune chants, I think this card's only good at red right now. I wouldn't run it at blue for sure. A 3 for 5, even though I'm free. Like a conditional free 0 for 5 is nice, but like Revel is 0 for 5, right? And that's conditional. I don't know. I would definitely run this at red. I wouldn't run it at yellow or blue. We'll see, Parker. I don't know. I think she's going to be able to be ran mid-range control and be able to just slap people. Like, being able to do extreme rune chant generation consistently while also, I don't know. We'll have to see. Because you don't have to banish a Blood Debt card if you don't want to. I mean, it wouldn't be ideal, but, like, if you don't want to stack Blood Debt. Yeah, I think she runs Banshee for sure. Maybe yellows, but I doubt it. You probably run blue bounding demigod just because it's a good 0 for 2. I probably wouldn't run it yellows. Shadow Verser is an interesting card, so I want to talk about this card with her. So, like, the weird thing about this card is, like, you're forced to banish a card at the start of your turn, right? So let's say you only have Shadow Verser as your only Blood Deck card, right? Do you banish Shadow Verser at the beginning so you can still play it and you don't just mill a card? Because, like, let's say you have Shadow Verser, I don't know, any 3-card hand that's not a Blood Debt, and you don't banish this card at the beginning, then you just milled a card for no reason. And if you do banish this card at the beginning and you don't have another Blood Debt in hand, then you can't play it without go again. So it's like a lot of weird, I think, like, if you had a heavy Blood Debt build, then maybe Shadow Verser becomes more playable. But I think in her current state, like, even if you have 40% Blood Debt, it could get pretty conditional because you're not banishing multiple Blood Debts a game or a turn. Because, like, the reason Shadow Verser was so nice is because you'd banish it, and then you could banish another Blood Debt from Chain's hand when Shadow Verser had already been banished to Soul Shackles. So it got really good really fast. But honestly, the only Blood Debt attacks I would run in her right now, without seeing the rest of her kit, obviously, is Phantom Banshee. Bounding Demigon's really good, but I think you have to stay on on or above rate attacks. Like, Ghostly Visit's good because it doesn't have a condition. It's just a 1 for 4, which isn't bad, so you can play it off of banish. But the problem is, like, these don't interact with the problem with stuff like Ghostly Visit is it doesn't interact with Mob Skies, and I think Mob Skies is going to be really important to this deck. At least until we see other ways of getting go again. Because, like, if we look at Blood Deck cards, this is a shadow only, so it doesn't work with Mob Skies. Rifted Torment works, but it's below rate, so 2 for 4. Piercing Shadow Vice can technically be a 2 for 6 if we've dealt arcane damage this turn. That one's something you could look at, but I doubt it. Rip Through Reality is a 2 for 4 with conditional go again. Not good enough. Void Wrath is probably your best one, but it doesn't go with Mob Skies. Unhallowed Rites maybe, because it does go with Mob Skies. Maybe we pop that in to get a little more blood debt for funsies. Yeah, there's not a whole lot right now. It's going to be interesting. There's definitely got to be like a new archetype, a new kit for her. She can't just go off the current pool because the current pool is not good enough. Right? Yeah, Art of War's okay, Mad, but the problem with Art of War is, again, if her ability isn't conditional or isn't optional and it's required. So, like, let's say you draw up and you have a 4-card hand with Art of War and you have 1 blood debt in your hand. You banish the blood debt at the start, right? Because you want to be able to play it that turn. You have a 3-card hand. Let's say you don't have Tunic because you're running a Husk. Now you got to pitch a card to then banish a card and draw 2. But if that, basically Art of War would only work with her is if you had 2 blood debt in hand. So you can banish 2 blood debt cards and not lose value. So it could be a little bit interesting with her because, again, the reason Art of War was so good in Chain is because you might banish 3 off the top with Soul Shackles, 3 blood debt cards, banish a 4th one, and then all of a sudden you're off to the races, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. I agree with Parker on this one, Breezy. If this is not optional, which I don't think it is based off the wording, then she actually is kind of bad. I don't know. She's basically a 3 intellect hero. Because, like, let me ask my one buddy who's a judge who I actually trusts. Not that I don't trust judges, but I really trust his ability. Well, they already answered 2. Let's go. Yeah. Olardell in my Discord is a level 1 judge, but I really respect their opinion. They're usually right on a lot of things. They've never been wrong to me. And they say they read it required, but like if you don't have a card in banish, then you don't get a rune chant. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's a required ability. Yeah, it seems mandatory, which I think makes her really interesting. You're going to have to really have some hand management because if you don't, it gets really dicey really fast. Really dicey really fast. I might just play out some test hands for fun in single player and see what happens. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we went through this. So now we look at, so how many blood debt cards do we currently have in the list? 3, 6, 9, 12. And this was running Rainbow Seeds. 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I do think you're going to have to be about a 40 to 50% blood debt ratio, similar to Chain. Seems more gate, whatever keyword is, name cards. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's definitely going to get it. Like, I'm not worried. They're definitely going to give her some kit stuff. But I think there's a chance where she gets what Arachne got. And Arachne's still a little bit dicey, but I think she gets like a decent kit to start in Dusk Till Dawn since it is a supplemental set, but not like an amazing kit. And then she starts to get more powerful cards in later sets. I definitely think that's going to be the play for her. But we have 30 blood debt cards, which is pretty good ratio. I'm comfortable with that. And now we look at other cards that we need. And the way I'm looking at it is Rune Chant generation. I want to make Rune Chants as much as possible, as quickly as possible. And be able to do some cool stuff. So, while also keeping some block values. But I also want to be able to give stuff go again. So, let's talk about attacks. I think Swarming Gloomveil is going to be really easy with her. Obviously, the go again is really nice. I think Spellblade Assault and Spellblade Strike are both going to be playable in her. Definitely Spellblade Assault at red and blue. Spellblade Strike at red, I think, is really good in her. I think you then run. Let me look at my list here. I think one card that actually, depending on how things go, might be decent in her is Dread Triptych. You know, if you've played a non-attack action card this turn, create a Rune Chant token, right? So that's nice. If you dealt arcane damage this turn, create a Rune Chant token. You know, if Dread Triptych hits, create a Rune Chant token. There's a lot of cool stuff. So, like, you could banish a card, banish a Blood Deck card, like Seeds of Agony at the start of your turn. Play out Seeds of Agony, pay 1 life, make it to where they can't block Rune Chants. Then with your last card in a blue, with Dread Triptych in a blue for your last two or any of them, Dread Triptych in a blue, you play Dread Triptych. You've already created the Rune Chant, so you're gonna make another one. You have dealt arcane damage because they can't prevent that one instance of arcane from the Rune Chant because of her second ability, the one you just created. And then if it hits, you create 3 more. So I think that actually might have some decent synergy with her. It depends if she'll have the resource space to do it, but I think that's a cool card for her, definitely. Obviously Revel, like, without question. I think because like right now we're at 54 cards and let's take out Dimensional Gateway. That card's just too bad. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33 attacks, right? And then we go for Mauve maybe, and we just put in Rainbow Mauves to have consistent go again. And when you have these with 3 Shadow Puppetries, you're in a pretty good spot. So, like, this isn't too bad. I think there's some cool interactions. I think also Meet and Greet's a good option with her. Because, again, you banish the Seeds of Agony at the start of turn. You play out Seeds of Agony. You pay a life, making it to where they can't prevent the next instance of a Rune Chant. Or you banish Seeds of Agony, create a Rune Chant. Play Seeds of Agony. Pay 1 life. Make it to where they can't stop that Rune Chant. Play out Meet and Greet. They can't stop the arcane, so Meet and Greet's going to get go again. Then you swing with something else, right? I think there's some cool stuff you could do with that. I don't think she's like bad. I think it's just going to be... She seems like a fair deck right now until we see more cards. Until we see more cards, she seems like a really fair deck. I think Sigils in her are going to be pretty good as well, just for life gain purposes. Sigil will be a decent one to put in the sideboard, depending on how long you think the game's going to go. Reduce the Rune Chant might be a good one to just keep giving her Rune Chant creation. What do we have when you just type in the word life? Oasis, not bad. Life for a life. Yeah. To gain, just think about like gaining life. I'm trying to think like Healing Balm, but like, would you run that in her? You know what I mean? Is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it in her instance. Because like Healing Balm is the only other thing I can think of. Heart of Fiendal might be good in her if you're freaking crazy and have a ton of money. But this is a 2-block, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I think that's what she runs. And then you have more poppers in the sideboard because you're going to need them with this new Illusionist meta. Maybe you run Amplify the Arknights in the side as well. That's your 80 cards. We'd obviously probably not have this in and add in gloves. So this may be a dumpster fire. Let's go to Talishar. It might make... I think it does force it, so... We have to go to the open format and do single player private game. Oh shit, wrong one. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna name her the Evil Dami Mommy. Right now, Bravo seems the winner with a few cards sealed. That Bravo card is pretty sick. I'll give you that one. Let's just... What? 4 weapons currently equipped. I don't have 4 weapons equipped. Does it see these as two-handed? That's annoying. Yeah, they must have this as two-handed. Okay, so let's see here. Just for funsies, let's do a couple test hands. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, situations like this. This is literally what I was talking about with Shadow Verser. So like you want to banish Shadow Verser so you actually can play it, but it's not going to have go again unless we use the Mauve Skies on it. So you banish this. You have 1 blood debt. We create a rune chant from it, which is nice. We play out the Mauve Skies. It's very interesting. Oh, it won't let us attack with flail right now, which is fine. So normally in a situation like this, I'd pay 1 life, attack with flail, make another rune chant. Right? If we wanted to really like... And then, so I'd have 2 rune chants. I'd pay 1 more life, pay life twice, get up to 4 rune chants, and then fire this off. Wait, this isn't... Yeah, it's telling me every time. Yeah, so Talashar's bugged right now, which is fine. But basically, you would have fired 4 rune chants right there, and now you're also threatening on hit with Mauve. This gets go again. Let's just say they block it and the 2 rune chants don't come in. Then you play this. Not too bad. Like, not amazing. That's like, what, 7, 9 damage you're paying. And you have cards like this. Bounty Demigod, Bounty Demigod. So Phantom Banshee. So this is a situation where it's pretty easy to get Phantom Banshee for free if Talishar was working correctly, because you could banish the Banshee. You have 1 rune chant made. You do this twice. Bam, bam. Pay 2 life. Right? Pay 2 life. Bam, Banshee won't have go again, which is the only crappy part. But before you pay 2 life, you probably create another rune chant with this. That's 2. Pay 2 life, get it to go up to 4. Right? Play Seeds. Paying 1 more life with Vinsett. And then we play Banshee, which it's not letting me play. It's not letting me play it. Yeah, we definitely can't use Talishar yet, which is totally fine. How dare they not have this done in a day? They're working on it for sure. But you play Banshee here for free, right, with 4 rune chants up, and all of a sudden you're dealing 11 damage, but you don't have go again. And then we'd arsenal this, and we'd have no rune chants made. So again, same thing. Let's just imagine we have no rune chants made. You put Banshee. Oh, now it's letting me play Banshee. That's funny. Okay, well, it's letting me play for free. Oh, that's funny. Seeds. Nah. Seeds. Nah. Seeds. Obviously, I'm not doing this. We'd pay 2 life, go up to 2 more rune chants, then play Banshee for free. But this is also saying that you haven't blocked at all. Oh yeah, Flail doesn't give go again. There's got to be a way. You're right. I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking Kadachi's in my head, Omar. Oh my goodness. There's got to be a way to give these go again. There's got to be a way to give those go again. There's no way they don't have a way to give those go again. If they don't, then those weapons are actually terrible. Shadow Verser, right? Make a rune chant. You play Shadow Verser. Banishing the Rift Bind. Don't really need to pay a life here. Shadow Verser has go again. This gets go again from the rune chant that was made. Haven't played a non-attack action yet, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, it's really interesting. She's really interesting. I'll just let me do it anyway. That's funny. That Bounty Demigon's the one that's required. It's so interesting, but yeah, it'll be funny to see how she plays. With this not having Go again innately, it makes it really bad. Yeah, you could do that for sure, Omar. You're right on that one. But yeah, she'll be interesting. This is what I have so far just for fun. I still don't know how good she's going to be. But I'm really curious. Regardless, it's going to be fun. You just could kill yourself if you go too crazy with the pay life effects. But yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's more just a thematic thing, Mad. Like, it's not like the weapon's meant to be good. It's just meant to have some... Like, it's like a Riptide's bow, Barb Castaway. It's not a bad weapon. It's playable. It's just not as good as some of the current things in the game. Is she being played at all for fun? Probably not. No. But yeah, we'll play a couple games, y'all, of some... Oh, no. Let's play... Who should we play for funsies? What are people playing right now? I've been playing this Arachne list. It's been doing pretty good for me, actually. Like, my results aren't amazing, but like 60% win rate on Arachne for me. Oh, of course I'm playing Icelander. Isn't too bad. Let's put Oasis in there and take out this. Take out the Fates. That's it. But yeah, 60% win rate on Arachne. I feel like Arachne's in kind of a cool spot in this meta right now. Oh, and we start with an Oasis. Let's get it. Let's see if they don't overblock this Eradicate. We can get lucky here. Probably should have put Nerve Scalpel in, but here's what it is. Yeah, because Arachne does really well in a Ranger. It does okay into stuff like Katsu. It's bad in a Fi. Obviously, it's an auto loss in a Jeremiah. What else? But it has some cool matchups. Like, played a lot of Dorinthias. I think Dust Hold On. People are getting really happy with that. Briar, I've struggled into. Bravo's 50-50. Azalea. Jeremiah is like an auto loss. Everything else, I'm pretty much 50-50 into. So that's been nice. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Yeah, boy. Take out 5 of their cards. Oh, shit. No, I don't want to do that. No, undo. Lol. Well, now they know I have an Oasis. Oops. Banish 5 cards off the bat. We'll take that. 2 Winner's Bites, too. Yeah, boy. People are, like, not respecting Arachne as much right now. Ugh, do we even care? Yeah, no, I'm the same, Matt. I don't care if Arachne's the worst hero in the game. I love Katsu. I started on Katsu, and I'm trying to stay strong with Katsu for like the content and for the community. But like Arachne, thematically, 100% my favorite hero, without even like no holds bar. My favorite hero for sure. Let's get rid of that one. My dogs keep biting something. What are you doing? Yeah, we'll sync that. Man, this freaking Icelander is gonna deck out in 3 turns. You don't watch it. Okay. Sure. Now, get rid of that. Let's get you. Do you. Sweet. That's fine. Try to get rid of this. Oh, you asshole. Well, thank God. Well, am I going to be able to pay for it? 1. It's going to cost 2, cost 3. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, we'll sync that. I probably should change my title. This is normally a bad matchup for me. Not like a horrific matchup. Like Kano's a bad matchup. But this matchup's not favored if the Icelander gets going. Usually. I had a matchup against Kano earlier today on Arachne. They tried to combo me turn 1 with Ether Wildfire and a Blazing Ether and the Lesson Lava and stuff. And I had an Oasis in hand. So literally they did nothing to me. Hardly. I sigiled and then Oasis through Ether Wildfire. So they only dealt like 2 damage. And then so I went to 41 and they ended up blazing me for like 4. So they cracked their boots and everything for like 7 damage. It was hilarious. Man, they do not care about me banishing stuff. It was very interesting. I forgot what this does. That's fine. Oh, I can't do that. That's right. Oops. Sure. Yeah. That's fine. Oh, they freeze us. I forgot about that. That's funny. I don't know if it's worth it, but sure. But yeah, anyway, I Oasis them turn 1. And then I played out like a 12 damage crazy turn. And then 2 turns later, I banished off like a double cut to the chase eradicate. I banished their second Ether Wildfire and both their blazings. So by turn 3, they had 1 blazing or 1 Ether Wildfire left in. Oh, that's getting sunk. 1 Ether Wildfire left in deck and no blazing. So like they just lost after that. All right. I can play this out. We're Gucci. Nice. This is the most I've ever banished on an Icelander. They're very aggro. I kept that channel around. Nice. I'll be able to put the Death Touch in Arsenal, though, and their channel will be gone next turn. Or Insidious Chill's already gone, which helps. I'm better with Arachne, too, with Uziri, and I legit could not tell you why. I couldn't give you a reason. I just am. My win rate on Arachne is like 60+%. My win rate on Uziri is like maybe 40. I can't win with that hero. It's so annoying. We'll sync that. Just in case they actually decide to block for once. Man, I should never sink, I guess. Yeah, they're all Ether Ice Vein all the time. Discard the sink. This is definitely like a full list of... Might as well use it here, make them do something early. Okay. We'll actually block some of this. Now they have to give me 2-3 blocks or let it hit, and I'm going to give it go again. Sure. We have to make him have the D-React. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it. I'm glad it's helping. Ooh, inertia. Easy peasy. You got to block that. I'm glad they're helping. Yeah, with those, I don't care how many views they... I mean, I never hardly ever care how many views things get. But I don't care how many views they get. Like, I just want... If they help 10 people, like, feel more confident about Katsu, I'm happy. Okay, what we got? Sure. Let's save a little bit here. We won't block that because I think we can play a Slay of Scholars here. Give it go again because Cut to Chase will help it hit unless they overblock. And then play out the Command and Conquer for some extra damage. Watch them block it for once. Oh, they're going to Oasis. Damn it. Oh, no, that's fine. We're cool with that. Declare no blocks. All right. And I oop. Man, they were so quick too. Can't wait for the one helping more on blocking part. Never know how to properly use Flick Flack. Those are the hardest videos to make, Martin, because like it's so situational. What I need to do is just sit down one day and open OBS and record like 8 games in a row and then pick what and like mark on a piece of paper when stuff happened and just remember that way. That's my best option, man. We should be in a good spot here. Unless they have some crazy Ether Ice Vein turn. There we go. The one freaking give me 3 frostbites. No, because paying through the frostbites is going to be more important. Let's go. Now I'm going to take both their cards. Maybe I take one. They said roll on the floor laughing and then quit. I was like, I mean, I run like 24 blues. What do you expect? Like, what? Why is that weird to you? They said roll on the floor laughing then quit. I hate when people do this. Just play the game out. You lose, you lose. It's fine. It's Talishar. No one cares. They care. Now I'm going to have to sit here for 2 minutes. I hate when people do this, man. This is another reason why I block chat, just in case they say something stupid. Well, there we go. Thank you. I'm sorry you got beat. Where is my matchup in Icelander? This is why I don't count Talishar stats for shit. 2-0. Yeah, I only played 2. We'll play like 1 or 2 more games, y'all, and I'll probably head out. I wanted to just do the fun build Vinsett video. I'm definitely going to make a video about Vinsett and probably put it out tomorrow night, so for people who missed the stream. Actually, I may go do that now if y'all are okay with it. But yeah, just because played one fun game in there. But yeah, this is interesting. I think in the video that I put out tomorrow, I'll do it tonight. I'll talk more about like my decision points, not for like building the deck, but like what the hero is, and kind of talk about it. I'm not gonna do one on Prism. I don't care enough for Illusionist. I'm sorry to say, to do that. But Vinsett's really fun. Seems like a fun deck. And I'm super excited for it. So, yeah. Hopefully y'all had a good time. Sorry it was a short stream. Didn't really do too much. You know, nothing crazy. More just wanted to have some quick fun with the stream and go from there. But, yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining me for the hour. I'm going to go make this video and then probably play some Overwatch. Y'all stay safe. Stay happy. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all so much.